I want you to think about this for just a moment. There's been times in our life when we felt God working, and we just weren't sure exactly if we should put out a fleece or exactly what it is that we should do. I had that same occurrence happen to me many years ago. It was upon the first year that my wife and I was married, and it was being called into full-time ministry, and I really didn't know what that looked like. All I knew was that God was leading me to do something. So together, we decided that we would leave Tennessee, we would move to North Carolina, I would go back and I would finish my degree, and then we would just see from there where God would lead us. And whenever that happened, we decided we're going to take 3 days and we're going to pray about this. So we went to a place that was very familiar to the both of us, where each of us had received something from God before in the past. We went to Ridgecrest, North Carolina. We spent 3 days over there praying for direction. At the end of that 3 days, we got in the car and she looked over at me and she said, "Well, what do you think? Should we move?" And as honest as the day is long, I said, "I don't have a clear word." And I reached down and I turned the radio on, and it was about 9:30 in the morning. I remember that very distinctly, on a Friday, and one of my favorite speakers, James McDonald, was on the radio. And it was if James was speaking directly to Angie and me, and we looked at one another before we even got back up on the interstate, and we knew that it was time to go home and put a for sale sign in the yard, for her to turn in her resignation and for me to turn in mine. And that's what I did. What I'm hoping is that during this time of this study, that you're going to find a moment that is like that, and that you're going to be willing to trust God.